been toying with the idea in my mind of just doing me on stage with an acoustic, because at home that's how I am. Or if I was singing to my kids when they were little, that's it. You know, it's just with a guitar. And so I know how to do it. And obviously when you write songs, that's what you do. But I'd never ever done it as a performance thing. You know, I'd always been in the Beatles or Wings or, you know, my solo group. And so I'd never done it. But what happened was I did a poetry book called Blackbird Singing, and I got invited to do some poetry readings. And I thought, oh, I don't know about that, you know. But I thought, well, I've got a book, you know, and all poets do these things, kind of expected a bit by the publishers. So I thought, you know, okay, come on, bottle job, we're going to do it. So I asked a friend of mine, Adrian Mitchell, and a couple of other friends, I said, well, what do you do at these readings? He said, well, you just sort of, you read your poems and then you talk a bit. So I did my version of that on these readings. And it was quite interesting because I started to think, oh, you know, I'd forgotten that. Because you've got to dredge up some sort of story about this thing, and I was doing, it's got lyrics in it as well, so I was doing Blackbird, and I remembered that I'd originally done it during the civil rights struggles, and was imagining a black woman, a young black woman, maybe one of our fans, going through all this trouble with white racists, you know, and so it was like, you know, this is the moment to be free, this is your moment to arise, and blackbirds singing in the dead of night, you know, take these broken wings and learn to fly. So it was like a song of encouragement. And I said that at the poetry reading. And I started to get quite comfortable with just sort of standing up and talking and then reading a poem. So when it came to do the tour, I said, you know what, the time's arrived finally for me to do that acoustic thing. So I said, it's going to be a bit nerve-wracking, as it was the first week. But I said, I think I can do it now, because I'll do a bit of chat, a bit of singing. That's how it came about.
There are some poignant moments in the as well as we've talked about the sheer emotional weight of the songs, but there are poignant moments about Linda and about George and about John. And particularly about George and John, were you aware that in the midst of all this Beatles, celebration of Beatle music, that you wanted to take sort of time out to say, here's a tribute to George and John? Was that important?
Yeah, that's what happened, you know. I was saying I was doing those poetry readings, and I didn't used to do Here Today, which is the song I do for John. But I was doing something from Bush House, actually, funnily enough. It was like the World Service. Yeah. And it was to America, the National Public Radio in America, which is a cool network. And, you know, it's like the Beeb.
Yeah.
It's not full of commercials and stuff. And it's a nice, you hear some good stuff on it. So, and the lady we were doing this thing, and I kind of knew what poems I was going to read. And she said, would you read this? And she said, at the end of the thing, she said, I wonder if you just do one more, you know, I haven't planned this, but would you read Here Today? So I did it, and I was reading it, and it caught me up, just the last verse, which was, and if I said I really loved you and was glad you came along, and I just suddenly heard what I was saying to John, and he died, and I lost it, and then just sort of regained it and read it, and but I suddenly realised the emotional weight of those words for me, and then I thought, you know what, I'd like to do that as a song and put the music back. So that became then a tribute to John.